You must not avert your eyes. This is what is coming at us. Do not avert your eyes.
I mean, I don't know if it's cool, but I'm ready to record.
So who else has seen Count Orlok's dick yet?
I haven't yet.
I just saw that the one thing that I posted earlier.
I mean, it's worth it.
It's framed.
It's framed penis.
Yeah.
I didn't even know it was a prosthetic. I just thought it was CGI.
That shows you commitment to filmmaking.
Well, they just showed you Count Orlok's dick. They were afraid to show you Willem Dafoe's.
Well, I mean, they didn't have IMAX back then, so.
What do you have against William Dafoe?
Well, he's a giant penis.
Allegedly.
That's the joke you were making. I apologize.
You've heard that story, right? With Lars von Trier?
No.
Oh, so have you seen Antichrist?
No.
Okay, so Lars von Trier.
Okay. Great way to start any story. Lars von Trier.
They made this movie called Antichrist, and Antichrist is a movie about this couple, Willem Dafoe and his wife. The characters are named he and her, I believe, or she and him or something. They're not named. Their child dies, and they go to the woods to try to recover. And the wife goes insane. She sees the devil and talking foxes and murders him and cuts off her clitoris. It's like a whole thing.
It happens.
The movie starts with a sex scene in black and white when they're fucking, and their child walks out of their toddler toddles out of the window of this apartment building onto the floor below while they're fucking. And it's like close-ups of this dick shot going in and out. But they used a stunt cock because Lars von Trier says, and I quote, that Willem Dafoe's penis was so large it made everyone on the set uncomfortable, so they needed to get a smaller cock in the room.
Which was the style at the time.
Cowards.
Hello, and welcome to the Found on Shelf podcast. The podcast you've never heard about movies you've never heard about. Each week, we take a look at one of the strange and forgotten relics of cinema buried at the bottom of the IMDb credits, and we drag it kicking and screaming into the light. Now, normally, as you can tell, your hosts are these two chuckle fucks, Dustin. Say hi, Dustin.
Hi, Dustin.
And Patrick.
Hi?
However, since they are incapable of paying their rental bill, I, Gimcrack, a demonic video store cloak, have seized control of the show as payment and moved its operation to my dark and dank basement of my cursed video store, where I will be acting as their producer to establish some actual quality control and maybe less talk about Willem Dafoe's penis.
I mean, if we're not going to talk about Willem Dafoe's penis, what's even the point?
Did y'all guys hear that too? What was that?
I'm the evil creature sitting across the desk from you with the headphones. Can you see me?
Oh, you're real. Okay. This is like my fourth time doing this, and he's new. He is very new.
Yeah, he's where we get all of our movies from.
Yeah,
you know what? That kind of makes sense.
People thought it was Patrick, but it's him. It's right there.
Yeah, you can see he's a totally different person.
Yeah, totally different. I've never seen him in the same room together besides this, but this is
it's a new experience.
It's a weird interdimensional.
Wait a second, was this the guy when Patrick went to hell who had to step in?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember that episode.
Yeah, the what was that movie there, Gimcrack, we watch? One of your favorites.
Hotel Inferno?
Yeah, that was the one.
I did try to forget that one.
How could you? So what the hell are we doing now? I don't know what's happening.
We're taking a moment to respect this new shift in the paradigm of the show. Just a moment to bask in the era of when people look back on recording the show. I want them to see that this is a moment of great historical import.
Okay.
Look, I'm just trying to be a good hype man here. Do you think that Vanilla Ice went on stage and the announcer just said, here's some asshole trying to schling a strong? No, they acted like he was a respected act. And that's what I'm trying to do. Act like you're a respected podcast. Did you even introduce your guest?
Did you just say schling a schlong? Are we talking about William Dafoe again?
Honestly, the fact that you have so much respect for Vanilla Ice is shocking.
Less respectful Vanilla Ice and more just seeing how I call the shots here.
Does this mean we're finally gonna get our Vanilla Ice Cool as Ice movie episode?
Oh, that would be cool. We should do that.
Yeah, it is nice because we're not doing part 3 movies anymore, thank God. So
we aren't doing part 3 anymore.
Oh, thank Christ.
Yeah. By the way, just so we know, I'm Patrick. This is Dustin. We're hosting the show, but also we have our guest with us today. Her name is Specc. And Hello. This is the 4th time you've been on the show?
The very 4th time, I think. I've kind of lost count.
I can't believe you keep answering our calls.
Me too, frankly. But, I've known you a while, and I now have known Dustin a while, and it seemed like the neighborly thing to do.
Wait, she comes here willingly?
Not at first, but,
Okay.
I wear you down.
We're not...
Eventually, I just get tired of y'all asking, and I would just give up. I'm like, fine, I'll watch whatever you want me to watch. I mean, look, I was conned into watching Death Toilet 3, so I feel like...
Think you owed a good one?
Yeah.
I feel like this point, it can only go up from there, right?
Probably. Where are we going? What are we watching this week, Dustin?
Well, Patrick, I think I believe it lands on your decision for this week. And now that we've got a wide open slate of options,
I'm going to stop you right there. I think last year you had the gimmick of only watching third movies. This year, I had another idea. How about we let chance pick your movies, and whatever
Who's Chance?
Actually, Chance is the jackalope right over there. So what we're going to do is we're going to let the wheel of misfortune, as it were, kind of just land wherever it does. So if you look in the corner, there's a fortune-telling machine that used to be in the lobby until it was possessed by an evil spirit that just wouldn't quite leave. Normally, I'm okay with that, but its prophecies of doom tended to drive away customers before I was able to steal their souls. And we're really about, stealing souls here. So you got to make a profit. So I decommissioned.
Is that why you have no customers in here? That's the reason, of course.
Yes, of course, the jackalope.
Oh, okay.
So wait, you're stealing the souls of your customers. Do you realize you're going to run out of customers, right? Like, this doesn't make economic sense.
Well, this particular store, the reason everyone can be in the same space is it exists in all cities simultaneously as sort of like an interdimensional hub of evil. Have you seen Needful Things? We're doing a Needful Things. And so what's over there is the cursed vending machine. It's a fortune-telling machine. You put a quarter in it, and an evil fortune pops out, but also the cursed movie of the week. So if one of you could just walk over there.
Can I borrow a quarter from you?
I don't carry cash anymore. So
I know. Well, I know the down. So how much do we owe you again?
$30.03.
Okay. Can we add a quarter onto it?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Here you go. We're going to add that to your debt.
All right.
So wait, does this count as mine? I don't go here. Like, I didn't even know there was a video rental store in my neighborhood.
No, you're fine. You're just going to suffer the psychic damage of being their guest.
Oh, so like everything's normal. Got it.
All right. Well, guess here goes nothing.
I see darkness descending, skies of fire, rivers of blood, doom.
Huh.
All right. Well, that was.
Honestly, I don't know. It just feels kind of normal. Like, given the last year and probably the year to come, I feel rather comforted by that to know what is actually going to happen.
All right. What popped out there?
I think it. Oh, it looked kind of. Whoa! All right. Well, this might not be so bad after all. It looks like it's Star Wars.
Oh hell yeah!
I love. I've seen this a million times. I don't even need to rewatch it. I can probably just.
Fuck yeah, Star Wars.
You hate.
I hate Star Wars. I don't hate Star Wars. Star Wars bores me.
Bores you?
It does.
Well, this. I think this is a foreign version of it because that cover. That's not English. Patrick, what is this?
That says Turkish Star Wars?
I don't know Turkish.
Okay, so Patrick,
Finally.
did
That
you
was,
A Star Wars I actually enjoyed watching. Holy crap.
Turkish Star Wars. Okay.
what is this? The man who saved the world, aka something in a language I can't speak, aka Turkish Star Wars.
It's Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam. So Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam, or what is colloquially called Turkish Star Wars for some very fun reasons.
Try saying. If you say that backwards, will we get our podcast back?
I did spell it phonetically. Hold on. Moda na rutuk ianud. I offended someone, but I don't think that it did anything.
I just shit my pants, so I think maybe that backfired.
That sounds like a personal problem, Dustin.
It certainly is now because we just started this podcast.
I'm going to go sit on that side of the table.
I don't blame you. Patrick.
So this is not Star Wars. This is a movie called Turkish Star Wars. It's a Turkish sci-fi movie from 1982. Do we have any questions before I get into where this came from? Like anything that really stood out to you?
No, everything was perfect. I loved this movie so much.
do we want to pitch it before I tell you where it came from?
Sure. I didn't actually prepare a pitch, but basically, like, so when you see like the cover of like really old pulpy sci-fi novels in like a half-price book, whatever you imagine that story to be is this movie. It is like the pulpiest, the sci-fi-iest, the most stealing from like popular media of its time that you can think of. This is like a 12-year-old's like perfect movie.
I mean, you're not far off on that one. That's pretty accurate. Dustin, what do you got for me?
I just have it's Raiders of the Flash Wars.
Jesus Christ.
Flash! Oh! Let me take you back. The year was 1980. Synth pop is in, disco fever was out, and Star Wars fever has the world in its kung fu grip. And in Turkey, General Kenan Evren headed a military coup to seize control of the republic and place the country into martial law for about 3 years.
Oh, this is history. Got it.
So making movies becomes a little more complicated, right? Especially you can't make anything with like a political message. So you are kind of like shoehorned into certain types of movies. Now, in the Turkish film industry, one of the biggest stars at the time is Cüneyt Arkın. And he's making action movie after action movie with director, at this time, his main collaborator is director Çetin İnanç. In 1982, they're looking for something new, right? They're going through all the usual action movie tropes. They've done, cops and spies and everything else. And like, what setting could we make that's new and different that would be more exciting to get people in the seats? And at that time, The Empire Strikes Back was playing in theaters. So the solution kind of presented itself. Why not make a space movie?
Yeah.
Now, you may have clued into to this already, but the film model for Turkey at the time is more of like a grindhouse, right? It's Roger Corman style, shoot it fast, shoot it cheap. But they're able to convince the studio to take a big swing on this one and spin big. And the budget for Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam, or The Man Who Saved the World, is about $300,000.
All right.
In comparison, the movie it is inspired by, The Empire Strikes Back, cost about $18 million.
Okay. So they got a decent budget. They can work with some things here.
Yeah. So they got the money. They're going to make the movie, right? They've got the money. They make the movie. So they
Christmas's cookie was only $1,000. So, and it was all original footage.
Hello, ugly children of the moon.
Well, that's new. That's new for this season.
Well,
I built it for the stream, and we couldn't make it work.
Yeah, we need a Gen Alpha on here to help us out.
Where was I? All right.
$300,000 to make a space opera.
They got the movie. They're going to make it. So they've got a location in a seaside village. They go and they construct their space ships, their giant props, their ships, everything as outdoor sets. Now, the only problem here is a freak storm shouldn't happen this time of year, comes out of nowhere and takes all of the sets and props out, just totally decimates them. There's no saving it. The effects are gone.
Well, there goes your $300,000.
Yeah, you're not getting it back, but the money's already been spent, right? You have to make a movie. So now, in the darkest hour, this is it. This is all there is. This is the all is lost moment in the third act. The movie has to get made because the money's already been spent. But there's no effects, so you don't have a movie to make. But there's no more money coming, so you can't make more sets. What can you do? What would you do?
Well, apparently, I don't know what I would do because I've never been part of like big movie productions, so I don't know what I would do. But apparently, the answer is you take footage from Star Wars, or really what it feels like the Star Wars preview, like the commercial for Star Wars, and you use that.
Well, it's a little more complicated than that.
Okay.
Is it though?
Are you prepared for some Ocean's 11 shit? Because if
I'm always prepared for some Ocean's 11.
If you're directing Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam, you've got to be prepared to do some Ocean's 11 shit.
I'm assuming it's like filming without permission and...
Kinda. Well, the thing is, it's 1982. There aren't VHSs.
Oh, that's true.
Where do you get Star Wars footage?
You steal it from the local cinema?
You steal Star
download
Wars.
it on BitTorrent?
Oh, honey.
Yeah, so
Wait, what year?
Inanç, the director, goes to the Turkish distributor for A New Hope.
Oh my God.
And he bribes a night watchman to let him borrow a film print of A New Hope. He takes it. He finds the shots he's looking for. He makes a copy, and then he returns the original print the next morning, and no one's the wiser that it happened.
Because it's 1982 and the internet didn't exist.
Yeah, not a bunch of tattletales out there.
Exactly. And that's how we get Turkish Star Wars. All of the space shots are literally from Star Wars, but the plot is completely different. It's the plot of The Man Who Saved the World, Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam, is not entirely unlike the plot of Doom, in that they are both about the undying light of Islam.
Yep.
It's a little more cocaine heavy.
there's a lot to bookend that, but yes, basically
a little more coke forward in Dune, but the main points are the same, are that Islam rules. It's like both movies, and you know what? Fine, true, but
look, the Christians have been doing their versions for like literal years. Like it was almost refreshing to be like, the Christians are bad, Islam is good. I'm like, oh,
there's a movie
this is novel.
There's an Indonesian film called Satan's Slaves from the 80s that I should show you. It is basically that. The remake's really good. The original is a wild trip to watch. There is a problem, though, with stealing Star Wars. Do you know what the problem is? Why? Can anyone here elaborate on what the problem would be if I was going to steal the film print from Star Wars and splice it into my movie?
Well, Professor Patrick, clearly people are going to recognize Star Wars.
Well, you would think, but that's really not the big thing. Like this movie does not fly under the radar. This movie is a hit. This movie is a blockbuster in Turkey. This movie made them a shit ton of money. The production, the actual studio was just producing out of offices it rented. It bought the building after this movie came out. It bought them Alfa Romeos. It made them their careers. This movie is fucking huge
because the movie slaps.
If you're watching the movie, does the stolen footage feel a little squishy? Yeah,
a little squishy. The Death Star egg.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that the print was in a different format than
you're right.
The movie.
You're close. So the print and the movie are both in 35 millimeter, but Star Wars is a widescreen film. So to do that, you shoot with an anamorphic lens, and the lens captures the widescreen, but it squishes it to 35 millimeter, which is a little square. And then when you project it with an anamorphic lens, and it re-stretches it back out to fill the whole screen. So Star Wars is shot anamorphic and squished. But Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam is not afford anamorphic lenses. There's no reason for it to shoot in widescreen, so it's not anamorphic. It's just 35 millimeter. So instead of getting the stretched out film, everything's just really squishy.
Squished.
Yeah,
Well,
you know.
see, the version I was watching had a lot of apparently missing footage, so like the quality of the film kept like cutting in and out. So I just kind of accepted that whole cloth. I didn't even like notice after a while.
Yeah, it was a huge hit, but it wasn't like a movie that would have been like preserved, and so it was kind of
course.
yeah, it's kind of lost. It's kind of to time, and then like there were bootlegs available, but it wasn't until like the like early to mid 2000s before anyone tried to restore this film.
Right, because the internet.
Yeah, so it's just a new a restoration, and I think it was worth restoring, but it was
Oh,
like
yes.
just circulating in tapes. That is the story of how this movie came to be
All right.
in a grueling production of 2 entire months.
Kind of like that chunky Millennium Falcon there.
Now, there is some footage still technically
The
not.
Millennium Falcon was thick.
It was,
Ooh, she thick.
oh, God.
Yeah, you got some very specific porn preferences there, Dustin.
How did you feel about the mascots?
Wait, what? The mascots?
The furries in this movie.
I love the furries. There is like the monsters are great. I love them, especially towards the end when he starts severing limbs.
That is pretty good.
I laughed so loud I was worried I was disturbing my neighbors.
It's great, isn't it?
It's so good. There are some masked individuals in this film that are unfortunate.
Racist? Yeah.
And that kind of
Halloween masks. They're clearly Halloween masks, but they're
they're absolutely Halloween masks. But they did throw me out of it a little bit because I was like, well, that's unfortunate. But
yeah, it's bad.
It's real bad. But
it shows up a couple times. It's not just once. It's like it keeps popping up.
Because everything in this movie shows up at least 3 times.
Right, because okay, and this is the cut down version. The original version of this movie was 2.5 hours long.
Oh my gosh.
I'm assuming the extra hour is in scene transitions.
I think so.
Yeah, I hope so.
Literally things just happen one after another. Like you have to like just accept that
pace.
Something new is happening now.
Yeah, so all of the time to explain that might have been in the hour of footage they cut to make this a movie they could release. What they usually did in Turkey was they'd cut it into 2 at the time. They cut the movies into 2 movies, and they'd release them in stages. They did that in a lot of places. They still do in some countries. Yeah, like Wicked. Like Wicked. I haven't seen Wicked yet. I can't comment on it.
I've seen the stage play, but
as all millennials have, we've all seen it.
Have you never seen the original stage play?
No.
Oh, so yes, it's a millennial thing.
Yeah, it is a millennial thing. Yeah, especially a theater kid thing.
Yeah,
no, I mean, I was kind of on the side of theater stuff. My family's been all involved in theater. It's
That's
just
true.
never.
Yeah, but you're a Gen Xer, so
I'm on the cusp of both. I'm a zennial.
I mean, look,
Zennial,
generations are made up, but like, come on. Yeah, but your elementary class didn't have like a really chunky computer in the back.
Yeah, we actually did. We played, but we only had like Mavis Beacon teaches typing, and
Nice.
Oregon Trail. That was it. We had those, and Carmen Sandiego.
Yeah,
Well, of
where in
course.
the world is Carmen Sandiego?
Yes. So those were.
But no
those were
Jump
my
Start?
introduction.
No roller coaster tycoon.
Oh, that was on my computer at home in the later ages. Yes.
Roller coaster. I could go for some roller coaster tycoon now.
I love Roller Coaster Tycoon. That game was fun.
So Turkish Star Wars.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Turkish Star Wars, right?
Back to the
This
topic.
movie's good. I know we're getting distracted, but this movie's just good.
It is good. They didn't just steal footage from Star Wars.
No, they did not. I think every song is stolen from something else.
Yeah,
Was some of their budget also missing for the music? Did they lose their
did
music
this
in the?
song take out their music too?
I think they just decided to use this. All of the music came from the director's personal LP collection. He just brought records.
So he brought 2 records, 2 soundtracks.
The main theme of the Man Who Saved the World is the Indiana Jones theme.
Boy, and I do love how they cut between all the different songs with like no forethought. It's just we're listening to Indiana Jones now, and now we're listening to Flash Gordon, and now we're back to Indiana Jones.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't get to the actual sting. It's just the thump, thump, thump, thump, thump, thump.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they weren't quite ballsy enough to take the actual Queen song Flash. So they were.
People might recognize Freddie Mercury.
Yeah,
they won't recognize Star Wars, but they'll recognize Freddie Mercury.
I mean, in the words of Freddie Mercury, Jaws is never my thing, and I don't like Star Wars. So, maybe they were more Mercury fans.
Honestly, he probably would have loved it, because as he said, when I'm gone, do whatever you want with my music, just don't make it boring.
I'm trying to come up with new ideas for this new format of a podcast. So I was thinking maybe that could be some. But
wait, you don't want a theme song?
I'll keep going back to the draw. A theme song would be nice.
I have a new musical intro for this season.
You do?
Yeah, it's not a dedicated theme song yet. We'll work on that. But I did use
Gimcrack approved.
Gimcrack, have you heard it?
No, this is all news to me. And you're going to have to float it by me in a session before you go to print with that. Thank you.
All right, from the producer's booth to our shiny ears. All right. You know what? One thing I was thinking about doing, and it made me really think about it because of this particular movie.
Schlinging a schlong?
Schlinging schlong a lot more.
It is the new year. Resolutions can still be made.
You know who else slings schlongs?
Tell me, Patrick, who's sling schlong?
The sponsors who help pay for this show.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sure they're going to love that transition.
Yeah, I do think we need to just hop over for an ad read real quick. Dustin, I'm going to hand you the script. If you could be so kind. I know that I'm usually the one doing your ad reads, but I've got so many more responsibilities now. I think maybe you just turn the tables and let you try to read some of the copy from the people that you get money from.
Am I getting paid for this ad?
The show is getting paid.
So it can take out of the $30 that we owe you?
We'll talk about it. This production costs. We have to pay Specc for her time.
It's true. You do have to pay me for my time.
And
okay.
She's going to make at least scale. So this is going to be all of the money from this episode.
Okay. All right. All right. So let's see. Do I need to do this in a funny voice or anything, or am I just reading it? I've never done an ad read before at Gimcrack. I don't know what I'm doing.
Just read it like you actually use the product.
Oh, okay. I actually have used this product. You know what, Patrick? Being an alpha is hard.
So hard.
Help.
Yes, hard. It's a lot of work being totally jacked. Being a totally jacked god on Earth with the ferocity of a caveman and the sex appeal of Sean Connery, only to realize that you just blend in with all the other alphas.
So true, King.
And you see, that's where Sigma Brain comes in. Sigma Brain is the most important supplement in my arsenal of supplements for man-maxing. It's not only about keeping your body honed like an instrument of war, you also need to keep your mind sharp like a sledgehammer. Sigma Brain is the only supplement you need to boost your think smarts to the level of a true Chad. It's my go-to pill to help with my memory. It also improves cognitive function. And I use it all the time. Here, hold on. I got a little bottle of pills right here. All right. Well, I've taken about 12 of them so far since we started recording. So
is that safe?
I don't think that's a good idea.
You know what? That sounds like beta talk to me. I can see through time. I am going to unlock the full potential of my brain and bend spoons with my mind like a man instead of with muscles like a bitch. Have you seen Limitless? I'm going to do that shit. And it's all thanks to Sigma Brain.
Wow, it does all that?
Yeah, and that's not the best part. Sigma Brain changes your dude type to Sigma, the most valuable and rare type of guy. If you're tired of blending in with all the other alphas in the wolf pack and want to stand out from the crowd, take Sigma Brain and man up like never before.
I don't know. That all just sounds like beta coke to me.
Yeah, at this point, I think I'm the your only challenge for masculinity at this point.
Me and you, Spec, we got this.
You know, it's us alpha males against the world.
Do we want to talk about what actually happens in this movie?
I don't know. I'm still reeling from Alpha Chad Dustin. Just don't scent mark me, please. I did not consent to that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say a part here, and then you can.
You use alpha in one way. I use alpha in a very different way.
This whole discussion is fraught with perils.
Kind of talked ourselves into a knot.
Better not mention that again. King of segue. So yeah, I was trying to think of something that we can do for my soundboard when it comes to things like this, like foreign movies. You know, I can't really pull dialogue clips. So I really need to. I'm trying to come up with this idea, and I've actually started working kind of behind the scenes on my own artificial intelligence. I'm diving into a lot of different things here. So I think so. I'm gonna create this artificial intelligence. I'm working on that. I'm working on some crypto. I'm doing it all right now. This Sigma brain stuff has just got me fired up. Let me tell you,
Dustin, you've changed, man.
What my plan is, I'm just planning on taking these clips, feeding the sound bites into them, and then having it spit out some dialogue that.
Oh, so like ChatGPT.
Similar to that. Going forward, we may have some extra sound bites. That's something I'm working on.
So the movie starts with a monologue.
Yes.
It's introducing us to the world of space. So what happens is we talk about how the scientific advancement of man, and then nuclear war, and
they've dissolved borders and done away with racism and completely removed copyright laws.
Did you notice the music they were playing in this? Not the music. Did you notice the footage that they were playing in this? There was some Star Wars footage, but there was also some other footage, some footage of some rockets. What do you guess where that's from?
Is that Flash Gordon?
That's right. It's propaganda films from the Soviet Union.
Just brings a tear to my eye. No,
That's really funny because I was looking for the Soviet theme, and I thought it was actually this.
They sound the same to me.
Yeah, so mankind kind of advanced to a part, but there was a nuclear war in the atomic war. It blew the Earth into different planets, to planetoids.
Sure.
mm-hmm.
And this movie opens in a space fight.
Yeah, and the Earth blew up very, very similar to the way that the Death Star blew up. Not the exact same, but very similar.
Funny that.
Yeah.
Weird how that happened.
It was like the Death Star, but more egg-shaped.
Legally distinct, not Death Star. It's egg-shaped.
Yeah, it's been compressed.
Yes, exactly.
Help, I'm being compressed. Yeah, I like how they establish this canon, and then they kind of
do nothing with it and forget about it.
But then they bring it back towards the end. Like, they keep going back and forth about, are they on Earth? Are they not on Earth? Earth is a place, but also Earth is many pieces and was destroyed.
Yeah, and you've got great scenes of the bow tie fighters and the crisscross ships and that large round one. I think they called it the Century Eagle.
And then they had the.
I know for a fact there's going to be some Star Wars nerds, if they ever find the podcast, that are going to be very pissed off about what you just said.
It's fine. And then you have later you have something that again looks like the Death Star, but I think they just call it Star Killer Base, so it's legally distinct from the Death Star. And
Life Sun. We'll call it the Life Sun.
Anyway, so you have this big space battle. A cool thing they did here is you'll notice that when they show the scenes inside the cockpit that's not squished, they have a little fake place for their cockpit, and then they have a screen behind them, and they're projecting Star Wars behind them on the screen.
That's clever.
In scenes that are no way to they're just not coherent at all going on.
No, they're not.
No, absolutely
it's
not.
Great.
But they did have a helmet. They didn't. That's not part of wardrobe. They conned a passing motorcyclist to let them borrow that helmet for a couple of scenes.
This movie keeps getting better every time you tell me more details
I told
about
Patrick
it.
this is the most inspirational film I've ever seen. Play the Tetris song again. That was
Some Texas motherfucker.
whoa. We just have that playing in the background the entire episode. Then Nintendo might sue us, or whoever owns it now.
Who owns? I don't know who owns Tetris. Our Tetris comrade.
This is a comrade. All right. Who owns Tetris?
So yeah, it's a big space battle, and then our two heroes are in the battle, and they get shut down. They crash land onto a planet, which we later find out is actually a piece of Earth that was broken off during the atomic wars. But they don't know that yet.
Attack of the Land on Doom.
So they do. So they land in this desert planet. Legally distinct desert planet, and they're trying to get their bearings,
and then it becomes its own movie.
It becomes its own movie finally, and it definitely is very, very little to do with Star Wars after that point. Most of those scenes are up front, well, except for the part where they go into the cantina.
I know I'm skipping ahead, but I love how they have those god-awful Halloween masks right before they insert footage of the cantina, and it really just brings to home that that's what George Lucas was doing too.
I couldn't tell
which
scene was from this movie and which scene was from Star Wars. It was just
we talked about this. It's the squish.
Yes. The squish.
Squish.
Squish Defoe's junk. No, all right. Anyway,
All right.
So yeah, they're on this planet. They hope that they hope they land there, and they really hope it's a planet full of women.
They do say that.
The younger guys,
That's
like, yeah. I love the banter in this movie is so funny. Like,
they're
like everything's a one-liner. He's got just the cockiest, like, immediate comeback.
Joss Whedon wishes.
Right? Yeah. He wishes his dialogue was half as charming as this.
He says, so start your famous whistle that no woman can resist.
And then the skeletons show up.
I did the wrong whistle. Instead of women, I got skeletons.
It's fucking great lines. And I timed it. He whistled for 35 seconds. Yes, you must have whistled the wrong tune.
The skeleton raiders on horses show up and attack them.
Calling them skeletons is kind.
Yeah.
They look like villains from Power Rangers. There's a skeleton motif.
Yeah, honestly, the skeletons on Power Rangers looked more believable.
Of course, this is after they come across the pyramids, right?
Mm-hmm.
With all the hieroglyphics and
Mm-hmm.
It's true. They do have footage of documentaries that they've lifted with the pyramids.
and it's weird because like when they're doing this fight scene with all the skeletons, like they're like speeding up the motion and then slowing it down and they're just doing these weird fast edit cuts to this, that. It's just like, it's very much like, can we do the Zack Snyder 300 thing practically by speeding up the film and slowing it down?
But you know what? Those horses did a great job,
as they always do.
Do they steal the horses now?
Yeah, they beat everybody up and then they steal a couple horses.
This movie has kind of a fever dream quality to it.
I told you, you just have to accept that the next thing you see is just happening.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. It's like trying to recall in what order things happen, and I don't think that's capable. That's possible.
I think that misses the point.
4 pages of notes. I'll keep us on.
That's too many notes. That's too many notes.
Spec, I'm looking at 5 pages and I've gone through them all already.
No lie, I just have the movie up in the background running at 2 times speed.
See, this is normally what I do. Like, it's 5 minutes before the podcast. Did I watch the movie this week? I'm sure I did.
I think I did. Oh, wait till Dustin starts talking about it. Then I can remember.
And then they get caught. They get caught with lasers and robots.
Yeah,
Robbie the robot. It's not footage from Forbidden Planet, but it is explicitly like the design of Robbie the robot made with like a Doctor Who's budget.
Yes,
and dollar store Cylons are there too.
Yes, there are dollar store Cylons. Yes.
So the zombies raise up with the Robbie the robot and the dollar store Cylons to
a punk band. Dollar store says rising.
Cylons, yes. Rise of the dollar store Cylons. I would watch that.
Raised by Robbie the robot.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
With your headliner, Robbie the robot.
There's so many. I forgot how many fight scenes are in this movie.
Yeah, because then they come up and they've got like the death sport. You lose your best will please our masters and your blood.
That's when you're introduced to the hot lady.
Yeah, yep. The love interest.
She's the only one who has access to makeup.
Which is, and I think towards the end of the movie, he finds out, like, he realizes that she's like a single mom, and it's like, nah, I'm out. He just
No.
hops
Like the kids, like it's like they're like weirdly attached to the kid that she's like clinging to. But like she doesn't talk for most of the movie. And at first I'm like, could they not afford to pay her to talk? What's there? Does it matter? Is this just, well, we need a hot lady in there? Apparently there's a reason she doesn't talk. They were like, oh no, this is purposeful. And I'm like, I'm shocked they even thought that far ahead.
They probably didn't think about it till the end. They're like, oh shit, we didn't give her any lines yet.
No, they just kept repeating close up of her looking up and smiling directly at the camera. And then she looks down, and then she looks up again and smiles.
That was
It's
some
the same
uncomfortable
shot.
eye contact. It was very weird.
That's how they communicate. They have only ever had just deep eye contact the whole time.
But they totally eye fucked. You know they did.
Mhm.
You watched it happen on screen.
Yeah, it was a little dirty. Yeah, and then they say like the nuclear war was started because people were too serious, and if they just laughed, it could have been avoided.
They did say that.
They did say
that.
They did say that.
We did skip over the part where the fragment of Earth was surrounded with a barrier made of
you're
compressed
so
brain
right.
cells.
Yes, compressed. That's because that's the big MacGuffin is human brain cells, because the human brain cells compressed to create a shield around the Earth. Which Earth? The whole Earth? The fragments of Earth? Don't worry about it. Not important.
Yeah.
But the reason that big bad evil guy can't take over, the wizard, is because he doesn't have the only a weapon made from human brains can penetrate the force of human brains.
Yeah.
I wish I was making that up.
Yeah, no, it's definitely what their plot is of some.
Yeah. And of course, there is the all-powerful zigzaggy sword made of cardboard.
The Islamic sword, yeah.
Sword of omens.
There's just a brain.
There's just a brain. Yeah, the
just
brain.
A brain.
There's a there's a golden brain too.
So the planet's been enslaved by this evil wizard, and that he's the one that's controlling all these legions of monsters and orchestrating the death games and persecuting these people that need to be free. And he wants to use these guys to break free of the cellular membrane.
He ping pongs between I want their brains and they will bring me the brain.
Yeah.
Much like Earth, what the situation on Earth is, don't stress too much about it. Just
just go.
Yeah.
Just go.
Well, what they're really after here is they're after the Sigma brain, if we're going to be completely honest here.
That is such a good segue.
See, now this is where you should have put your ad read.
Yeah.
I'm the king of segues, and I am up to 20 pills now, and so far it is working pretty well.
Now, how is that helping you deal with the fact that you shit yourself in the beginning of the episode?
Is that what that smell is?
How many pills did you have before the episode?
Of the Sigma brain?
Uh-huh. Okay. Yep. I see. Okay. Those pills are working great, Dustin. Absolutely. Best ideas you've ever had.
We're totally not getting this money now.
I don't know.
Okay, so we totally skipped over the part where they had the whole planet surrounded with compressed brain cells. Did we talk about that yet?
No, can you tell us about that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so they had the entire planet surrounded in compressed brain cells.
I think I know where they got the brain cells.
Sigma brain. Have you guys heard about that before?
So there's mummies now.
No, the best part about the mummies are they have giant paws.
They do.
They're furry mummies.
So they're clearly barred from the other monsters. There's two monsters that show up around his time. One is mummies, and the mummies have giant paws.
Yeah.
But the reason the mummies have giant paws is the other monster are people in fursuits.
Yep.
Yes.
They just
No,
use his
calling them
hand.
fursuits is a disrespect to fursuiters.
Well, yeah, no, it is. It really is like if you were trying to make a mascot for your off-brand chain that's going to compete with Chuck E. Cheese's.
Yeah. They're
but
like mascot Muppet. What's the name of that big red thing from Looney Tunes?
Oh,
what?
the hair monster that.
Yeah.
It's like it starts with a G, something weird like.
It's like something flowery.
Yes. Oh Jesus, yeah, I forget his name now.
By the
I
way,
have no
Tetris
idea
is
what any of
owned.
this is going on.
Tetris is owned by its original creator, so that's who owns Tetris.
Gossamer.
Gossamer, thank you.
What are we talking about?
They look like
talking about
Gossamer. They look
Gossamer.
like Muppet mascot Gossamer
We've got Dollar Store Gossamer and Dollar Store Cylons.
and furry mummies.
Yes, and then there's another
Oh yeah, and then there's the big guy.
big guy. I called him Ribbon Fingers.
Oh, dragon! The dragon! Oh my god, I love the dragon so much.
He looks like he's a walking rug with ribbons hanging off of his fingers.
This is like your grandparents. Okay, maybe not your grandparents, but like what your great grandparents thought that Wookiees were, right? They're like, the big brown furry guy from your space movie.
You've got to sell it. The movie tries to sell it so hard because they're like the wizard means business and he's going to fuck shit up. So he's going to summon his ultimate super powerful weapon of evil and unleash the dragon. And
Yeah, it's like in the early 80s when you asked Meemaw to make you a Chewbacca costume. That's what she makes for you. You're like, thanks.
And it's very clearly like the guy in the suit, because the suit's supposed to be really, really big, right? And so they just built on top of his shoulders, so like they very clearly left a patch in the center so he can see.
And I cannot stress enough, this is not trying to look like a dragon in any way. No. It is just a guy in a furry suit with ribbons hanging off his hands, and I don't even think it had a head.
It had a what's the phrase? It had concepts of a head.
This is the best big bad I have seen in any movie, and I love the dragon so much.
The dragon is amazing.
We should have got the
I didn't even
dragon
know it was
on.
a dragon until you just mentioned it.
I forgot he was named the dragon.
Yeah, that's just.
I was just like, oh, it's that guy.
I haven't loved
Yeah.
a dragon as much since the fat dragon in Dungeons and Dragons. I just need a dumbass dragon in a movie. And
It really don't take much.
Simple man.
Simple needs. I just need a dumb dragon. In your hierarchy of needs, the very bottom, dumb dragon.
And we build from there.
Yes.
Oh.
So in this ribbon monster dragon ends up like killing all these kids. Like,
Yeah, I was like,
bloody-
wow, they just killed everybody that they left in the cave.
Yeah, they got.
Yeah, there's like
it would have
this-
got super dark there.
Yeah,
But that's okay because we quickly transitioned into like the cheesiest looking training montage.
Well, not yet, because right
Oh,
before
no?
that, well, we're just about there, but right before that is when you find out what the wizard is doing.
You explain to me what the wizard is doing.
Well, they're draining the children into the wizard's mouth.
Would you like to rephrase that?
As maybe something less controversial.
I mean, that's what was happening. Well, they're draining their blood out.
There it is.
I think it was blood. There's something. There was a tube going from the kids into the wizard's mouth. Some
And
stuff
then the
was involved
kids
in
turned
blood.
into the mummies.
And the kids turned into the mummies, and the wizard stayed immortal. And then we get the workout montage scene.
And I know that you're going to criticize this path to immortality, but I think if we pitch it to Brian Johnson, the billionaire with the blood boy, he might consider it.
No, well, the thing is, he's already tried it, and it did literally nothing.
So yeah, then we have the training montage. Now the training montage is great because like it feels like any Dragon Ball Z training montage.
Except less believable somehow.
Less believable. They need to train to get stronger, so they tie giant boulders to their legs and like
they punch
hop around.
rocks. And they slap rocks.
They definitely slap the rocks more than punch the rocks.
They punch near the rocks.
It's great because these are all martial arts movies, but I don't think anyone involved has ever trained under martial arts. I do think Steven Seagal could practice martial arts more believably.
I will say our main guy does have some sort of like trampoline training. Like clearly this guy was some sort of like
gymnast,
acrobatic. I hesitate to say circus clown, but you know,
the circus clown.
Like he's clearly like, I can do fantastical things on the trampoline, because they will come back to him jumping on a trampoline
quite a bit,
many times.
But this scene is that scene's amazing. I mean, like you said, he's punching rocks. He's like slapping cliffs.
I love you can tell the difference between the actual rocks they lift and the ones they tied to his legs.
It's great, isn't it?
Do you have another bottle of this Sigma stuff?
Yeah, I've got one more here. Hold on.
Yeah, I gotta hold on. Here we go. I'm gonna go and try tying some boulders to my thighs here and see what happens.
I didn't know you were into that, Dustin.
He's a man of surprising depth.
Is that what we're calling it?
Well, to what depths one might sink for content. Speaking of depths,
where the fuck does Gimcrack keep the boulders? Why are there no boulders?
It's because it's a video store. What the fuck are you doing?
Don't you have that Sean Connery movie, The Rock? I'll tie that to my leg.
I have 8 copies of The Rock. Of course I have The Rock. It's a Michael Bay movie.
4 on each leg. We call it good.
All right. I'm going to try it.
So while he's doing that training montage, what the fuck happens in this movie?
Again, I don't know.
Cantina scene.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the cantina scene. They have a cantina scene, and it's great.
I forgot about the cantina
because they have lifted scenes from the Star Wars cantina, but also they have built their own fake cantina. They have their own aliens in horrible Halloween masks, some of which are very racist.
Very racist.
So racist. And additionally, they have dressed up like they are trying to dress up like Han Solo. They have like the white shirt, and they have a vest. Now the vest is furry, but they have a vest, and it's so good because they cut back and forth from the cantina shots to them kung fu fighting the Halloween masks, to the cantina shots to them kung fu fighting the Halloween masks.
Yeah, I do like how like every now and they're just like, I think the audience is getting bored. Smash cut to like a really intense close up of these racist Halloween masks. Scare them back awake.
Yeah, offend them awake. The one guy's shirt,
it was the
for a
80s,
second,
so
yeah, it's true. For a second, that one guy in the blue, I thought his like nipples were cut out on his shirt. It just looked like 2 like beige spots right there.
I don't know, but there was like some person in the background of this shot who looked like they were just working on the production, and they looked like they're wearing like modern clothes, and I was so distracted by them. They were wearing like a yellow shirt.
Amazing.
And what I think is just jeans and sneakers.
I missed them entirely. I'm going to have to go back and watch that scene after we get through recording.
Like she's like literally right behind him in this whole cantina scene.
And it's fantastic because once they get out of this and there's like a fight outside that's going on where he's like cutting arms off and stuff, there's like some of the furry monsters in the background, and they're just like pacing back and forth with their arms up like in circles. Like they're not doing a goddamn thing. They're just sitting there like a bunch of little beta bitches. And I just I need
Hey, Dustin, why don't you sit down, Dustin?
I
need to punch something.
Put the other rock down. Put the pills down. Why don't you sit down and just think about crypto?
Is your poop supposed to be red?
Depends. What did you eat beforehand?
All I've had to eat today was a bottle and a half of Sigma Brain.
Then yes, that's why. That's why. That's the reason it's red. Totally normal.
Do they sell this at Costco? That'd be a good idea.
Anyways, so the love interest and the kid get kidnapped off screen.
Yes, they do.
Mm-hmm.
Which is like the first of like 3 times they get kidnapped.
It's like reading a James Fenimore Cooper novel. They just keep getting fucking kidnapped.
Yeah. Oh, and there's also there's the what's his face? The wizard has like a sexy queen.
Oh yeah, he has his wife. partner.
wife, queen, whatever, that he decides to just turn into an ugly creature that then transforms
Well,
into a
no.
spider?
First, she's got to seduce the young guy so that
Mhm.
he'll give
Mhm.
them his brains, lead them to her brains. I don't know, something.
You know.
And
Well, she needs his brains, so she tries to seduce him. This is a tale as old as time.
And it's interesting that the
So,
all
lesson
powerful
learned.
immortal wizard
Mhm.
just buries people. Like that's his he's extent. Like he's like, if I can bury these people for 3 seconds, they'll give me their brains.
Yeah.
every sexy lady is just looking for a guy with a really huge brain.
Chris Angel's mindfuck. So she fails to seduce this guy,
Mhm.
and as punishment, the wizard turns her into a scene from the magic sword.
I thought that was stolen footage. I was like, this the prosthetics are too good. This can't be from the same movie.
This costs more than $3. This is not from the movie.
It's from a movie from 20 years earlier than this film.
And then she turns into a spider.
In a very psychedelic sequence. We say turners, but like there's like cutaways and fast cuts and like spiral sequences and colors and zooms and outs. It's very much like watching a drug trip in an indie movie from the 70s.
I don't know. All the colors look fine to me.
I mean, I'm colorblind, so I'm not an expert on colors. Specc, were there more than one color?
Yes, more than one color. Yes.
Fantastic. You can expect hard-hitting analysis like this on the Found on Shelf podcast.
I was just thinking about the great line he gave when the two guys meet back up. He said, "You made too much noise." Her husband showed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ew.
Ayo. That was great. That was
Ayo.
great.
I'm telling you, the one-liners, they're
They were
perfect.
pretty good.
Mhm.
Yeah. So what else do we
Also,
have?
do we ever learn
nipples.
what is like weird little, I don't know, mop-headed second in command is? The weird like sports headband.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. He never gets explained. He's just there mean mugging the whole time.
Stop looking for reasons and answers.
You're right. I should know better.
Yes,
The
exactly.
reason and the answer is the undying light of Islam.
Yes,
Of
that's
course.
where. Yeah, now we get an Islamic recruitment.
Yeah, a little bit towards the
It's
end.
actually kind of.
It just starts, and you're like, oh,
It comes from nowhere. You're just like,
And you're like, oh, that's what that feels like.
yeah. Oh, is that what everybody else feels like most of the time?
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, I was like, is that part of like a requirement for them to include this in their movie? Like their government's
wait.
we'll not pay you anything. unless you put
Yeah,
that in there."
I was like, surely this is to please a censor or a government, right?
Yeah,
But we
that's what it
definitely
feels like.
forgot that homeboy that one of the two guys gets kidnapped, right? Before. And so he's got to go save his buddy. But also he allowed him to get kidnapped. It depends on which
Yeah.
scene we're in.
Yeah,
Which,
exactly.
honestly, dick move. Like,
Yeah.
hey man, that's your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Friends don't let friends get kidnapped.
It's true. We actually have that in the podcast contract, don't we?
Do we have a contract?
Gimcrack, is that in the contract?
Just keep rolling.
But yeah, we get Islam recruitment.
Yeah,
That is also like an explanation for
sure.
like where the wizard comes from, because apparently he's like a Christian who wants to become immortal via brains,
Yeah, and
and also there's a sword that they melted down a mountain to make,
Yes.
and the sword gets paired with a brain, and the only person who knows where that is sexy lady.
yeah, he has to go pick up the. And what he just fights people, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, here you go," and now she talks.
And she's like, and he's like, "This is the first thing you've said to me." She goes, "Yeah, I was, kind of sworn to secrecy the whole time. So, but now I'm good. I can talk now because you found the sword. I don't have to keep
Yeah.
it secret anymore."
So anyway, how was your day?
Yeah.
Anyways,
Like a cardboard cutout of a lightning bolt or something.
Yeah, it looks like a Minecraft sword.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. It is a Minecraft-looking sword.
It's a Minecraft looking sword.
What did you call it
'Cause, like,
earlier? The ziggy zaggy.
Zigga zigga ah.
Zog, zig, zog, ziggy, ziggy, zog.
I've had that since he said it 20 minutes ago. I was digging in my computer. Where's that clip? There it is.
A little peek behind the scenes to the creative process of the show.
Yes, everything on the fly.
The friend dies, right?
Well, this is when he fights his friend because it's green
Well,
shirt
no.
versus nipples.
First he saves his friend from getting his brain sucked out or something. And then his friend sees the sword and decides, you know what we haven't had in this movie? A good heel turn. So he's like, I'm gonna go avenge them for kidnapping me, and then he knocks his friends out and steals his sword and the brain, because the brain came with the sword. Yeah, and he rushes to the old guy who's been telling them they're gonna save the world or something. Oh yeah, this is also the scene where they say the line. Who do you think you are? The man who saves the world?
Yeah.
Oh
That's
no,
the line from the movie.
not me.
Yeah.
That's the man who sold the world. See, I fucked it up.
And then he gets blowed up and he goes, tell the women that I love them all.
Well, yeah, because like he gives it to the old man. He's like, tell me the secret of these things. And it turns out the old man was actually the wizard in disguise. Not for real. The wizard was disguising himself. And now that he has touched the sword and the brain, just touched them, he has everything he needs to destroy S.H.I.E.L.D. around Earth.
Makes perfect sense.
Yep. And then he dies, and I really thought there was going to be like a little bit of a gay kiss. Like
It was
just a
very
little
gay.
one.
Yeah.
It was very gay, and I was like, just a little peck. I'm not asking for lip on lip. Just a little smooch. Their faces are so close. It's just a little.
I mean, in Turkey in the 80s, that might as well have been gay porn. They were just that close. You ever been in a Turkish bathhouse?
No, have you?
This is like my favorite scene, like where he melts down the sword and then he puts his hands in the vat
Oh yeah,
of
that's
melted
very cool.
gold and then comes out with these golden gauntlets. That's kind of badass.
Yeah, he melts down the sword, just shoves his hands in there, and they just came out with these gloves.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
And so anyway, after you unlock the gloves of Adam in Hades, the next run you're going to fight the wizard.
I mean, we ran past it really quick, but I was actually surprised that his best friend died. Like,
yeah, I was too.
Because he's kind of set up as like a deuteragonist, right? Like he is the other guy. Like,
let's face it, the
driving
movie
the
wasn't
plot
called
forward.
The Men Who Saved the World.
I know, but I was just shocked. I was not expecting it. I was surprised that they actually like went. What was that? Oh, something growled. I don't know if somebody's stomach growled or something.
That might be the
Sigma pills.
This might be just Sigma pills coming back. But yeah, I was
to have slowed down my thinking a little bit now. I'm not sure why. But
I was actually pretty surprised that happened. I was genuinely shocked that they went there. I thought he would survive. He would have a character arc, but there are no character arcs here. Nobody learns anything. Nobody changes. What was I expecting?
No reason for anything.
No, it's just you just have to save the world.
But he gets some cool gloves out of it.
Those gloves are amazing.
Yeah, and in the end, doesn't that make it all worth it?
I mean,
Kicks the wizard's ass.
Well, first he's got to like fight literally every monster that's. Jesus, are y'all okay over there?
No. I'm sweating right now. So sorry. It's 32 degrees outside and I am sweating my ass off.
Biohacking.
They have to fight like literally every monster that has ever appeared in the film. But this is also
punching them in half.
For like
this is also when he starts ripping the Muppet. Like, remember when we talked about like Muppet Gossamer? This is when he starts ripping their arms and legs off, and it's so good. It is quite literally the most amazing thing.
And again, it's like an 8-minute sequence.
It is a long sequence.
Yeah, there's a lot of furry monster gossamer slapping, which is just incredible.
Furry monster gossamer slap. That is also the
it sounds like a fetish, but it's not.
It sounds like something you type into Fur Affinity.
Is Fur Affinity back now? Because I know they got hacked.
Oh, they did get hacked, didn't they? I don't know.
Did we ever find out what happened with them?
They Google what happened to Fur Affinity.
Not it.
Dustin, this is clearly what you do. What are you too beta to Google what happened to Fur Affinity?
No, I can. My browser is showing me weird things lately, so I'd rather not.
But yeah, he does beat up every single monster that we've already seen in the movie at least twice more.
Yes.
Yep.
Super murders them, tears them to pieces.
Oh, we get more Star Wars clips too.
More Star Wars
Why
clips. Yeah, because at the end, after he defeats the wizards, like the planet like rejoins the rest of the human race, and you get more Star Wars clips to end the movie. And that's the man who saved the world.
Oh, he does he does chop the wizard in half.
Yeah, he slapped.
Oh, he bisects him. Yeah. Right down the middle.
Hot dog style.
And they do a great job with practical effects where they just like cover half of his like, left
they cover half of his face.
I know.
Like
and
shadow.
Yeah, it's great.
You gotta love it, man.
Oh man, I have this on in the background. I'm like, there's so much that we haven't. There's too much. We have glossed over so many small details in this film.
It's a 2-part episode. We'll do this and we'll end the season with Thug coming back.
You're gonna have a cliffhanger
because we don't talk about like the weird discs that the wizard throws that becomes decapitation buckets.
Oh yeah, the decapitation buckets.
His little scepter that turns into flying discs that always just seem to come back to him.
Well, he'll like kill the mummies because they disobeyed him with the decapitation bucket.
Yeah.
It is a wild movie.
And the wizard also has this weird headdress that he's wearing the whole way through. That sometimes it's just like a crown, and then sometimes it's like a full face mask.
Yeah, and he seems to be able to switch it back and forth when he needs to. Cool. I don't know. I don't know what the point of that was, but okay.
It's set dressing. It's costume.
Yes, exactly.
Art, Dustin. It's art.
I know nothing about art. Art is for that's some beta shit.
Oh God, that shouldn't be that. That looked like a tumor, but I'm concerned about the fact that it also came out of you, grew legs, and scuttled away. I think we should wrap the show and get you to a hospital and maybe get
I've never felt better in my life. That wasn't. You know what that was? That was cancer. I just spit it out. That's how good this shit is.
No, I think that was a parasite.
Oh, I only asked for one.
See, you never know what's in those supplements.
I think that might be the Sigma brain.
Yeah,
a pair of sites. See, if you guys took Sigma brain, you'd be getting these jokes.
Play the goddamn Morgan Freeman.
Anyway, I brought you here to. Wait, no, I got it.
You've never seen Morgan Freeman and Dustin in the room at the same time.
In a way, I brought you here to offer you a job. You think you can do it better, so here's your chance.
You don't talk over Morgan Freeman.
I'm a Sigma. I can talk over whoever I want.
If you had to fix this movie by a change, or at least enhance this movie by changing 3 and only 3 things about it, what would they be? Specc.
I'll be honest, I struggled to come up with anything I would change about this movie. I legitimately enjoyed this movie.
Hard saying.
But I was like, okay, let's get granular. Yeah. You gotta remove the racist masks.
Yeah, that's good.
Like, if all they did was just like cut clips of the racist masks, I think overall it'd be better. Yep. I do think the final battle was a little too long. Yeah,
it's kind of grating.
It's like, yeah, great. This is the big climactic battle, and I want to see cool fights. But it was just a smidge too long. Like, I didn't need to see literally every monster that they had on screen before. Right?
It's like making a 3-hour cut of Justice League. It's a little too long.
Yeah, and then just a little gay kiss. Just a little gay kiss. Tiny gay kiss.
As a treat.
As a treat for me.
You're gonna need to go see if there's Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam Dojunishi.
Let me see. Let me. Oh, I can look it up. Let me see.
Check the fan site. See what you got.
Let's see. Archive of Our Own.
Do you remember Yowie paddles?
I do. I was around when those were a thing. That sure was something. Wait. That
was a thing. Yeah.
Hold on a second. I might have a hit.
Was it written by Chuck Rampart by any chance?
It looks like so this looks like a bunch of different series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is. Okay, are you ready to hear what properties are in this one? There's exactly one tag for how do you pronounce it, Patrick?
Dünyayı Kurtaran Adam.
Okay, there's exactly one hit. It's called Oh My God by Awesome Cool 1028. And the not all the tags, but just the pieces of media are Joshua in the Promised Land 2004, Garfield, all media types.
God.
Cube, 1997, 2002, 2004. Homestuck, Despicable Me, movies. Music, real person fic. Amazing Digital Circus, Santa Claus Conquers the Martians, Animal Jam, video game. Our Drawings, 2023. Pupstar, 2016. Food Fight, 2012. Warriors, Aaron Hunter. Something I can't pronounce, Goat Story. Family Guy, SpongeBob SquarePants, Plan 9 from Outer Space, My Immortal, Star Trek, the original series, actor, real person fic, The Lorax, Angry Birds, all media types, Dragon Mania Legends, video game, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, TV, Alpha and Omega, 2010, My Little Pony, Generation 4,
Sigma?
Friendship is Magic, Blake's 7, Our Movie, Pup Academy, Breaking Bad, Troll 2, The Big Bang Theory, The Simpsons. Would you like to know the 3-sentence preview for it?
Yes.
Hold on, let me see if I can pronounce this. Grueridin, half Gru, half Aridin, really wants to steal the moon. Meanwhile, werewolf Chris Griffin seeks to avenge his mother. A spiritual sequel to the curious incident of the beatboxing puppy in the metaverse.
No, I often wondered what happened to the beatboxing puppy from the metaverse, and I'm glad that they made a spiritual sequel.
This was published in October. Or at least it was last updated in October.
That is way, way, way too much like the Ultimate Showdown of Ultimate Destiny to have been published in the last calendar year. Jesus God. How many chapters?
Cool. Hilary Duff was tagged.
How many chapters?
And Sheldon Cooper.
Oh, no. Dustin, do you have any 3 things while we look at more of this?
Well, the first thing I actually wrote was also to remove the racist masks. That was
I agree with that all the way around.
I think that was a kind of a given one. I also think that they should have introduced the gold sword a little earlier in the film.
Yeah.
I think you could have had the gold sword earlier, and then your third act could have been the whole dipping it in, coming out with gold gauntlets. And then you can stretch out the fight scene so they don't have to be all at once with the gold gauntlets. You can pepper them in a little bit.
Throughout.
I really liked that. That was fun.
Mm-hmm.
The third thing I would change about this movie is to maybe build the sets indoors where there's no storm.
Just maybe. Yeah. But then you have to pay for storage space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's sometimes you get lucky, and
you can steal.
You ever watch Star Wars? You ever watch Star Wars?
I don't know. I feel like
your kid's a big fan, right?
Yep. If you watch Star Wars, you'd probably get that.
God, what are you, my parents?
I have been skipping through time so much in the past hour that I don't even know.
You're over here just doing the Billy Pilgrim act and live on mic.
Yeah, okay.
We are the Found on Shelf podcast. If you laughed at what we do this every other week on Newley's Tuesday. He said that with the resignation of the damned. We don't know what movies we'll be watching this year. It is all up to chance, but we have lots of fun in store. So hit us up on social media at Blue Sky. And are we on any other social media sites? Because they also be rapidly disappearing. We are no longer on X.
We're no longer on X. We're
formerly known as Twitter.
Formerly known as Twitter. No longer be on Threads because of all those
other
things
things
that just happened. And
we'll
be on Blue Sky. Or check us out on our website, foundonshelfpod.com. And I think we're supposed to plug gimcrackvideo.com. Is that a thing now?
Yes, I've always had a website. Thank you for acknowledging it. Yes, we're going to start plugging gimcrackvideo.com for all of your gimcrack video needs.
What do you need from a Gimcrack video?
What do you not need? Have you been in my store? It's amazing.
I have. When's
I
the
have
last time you
Polonia Brother
updated?
films. I have Neil Breen films. I have Turkish Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, it's just it's a beautiful thing here.
A cornucopia of delights.
Yes, you got a Bitcoin ATM machine over there. That's never going to be used for anything nefarious.
I feel
Of
like
course.
Hellraiser said the same thing. A cornucopia of delights.
I know them. We play bridge on Sundays.
Oh, that's nice.
I've got some outro music to play.
Are you sure? Because if it's Star Wars movies music, we're gonna get nuked. If you play. Okay, so we gotta get him to a hospital. He's actually bleeding out of both of his eyes, and that tumor that he's coughed up earlier is now crawling around in the heat ducts. I'm afraid it might eat us all. So
It's probably just looking to make a nest.
that could be true. Dustin, come on, we gotta go.
All right, come on, big guy. We gotta get you to a hospital for big, strong alpha boys.
Yeah, take me to the Sigma Hospital, please.
All right, Sigma Hospital it is. Do you have insurance?
Yeah, insurance. That sounds like something for betas.